Good morning, everybody. And indeed, it is a beautiful Florida morning, and I am at the All-Star Music Resort. So a while back, we did a All-Star Movies walkthrough, and today we are going to do an All-Star Music walkthrough of the resort, the different areas it offers, and basically how long it takes to get from the front to where we are staying, again, at the very back of the resort. Now, I do not mind staying at the back of the resort. Actually, I prefer it because I'm a little bit away from everybody, as the All-Star resorts tend to be full at all times. And this week is no different. There's been cheerleader competitions, band, and choir, so it has definitely been a very busy spring break week for Walt Disney World. As you can see, the buses are rolling in and rolling out behind me. And today will be another magical day in the most magical place on Earth. So let's get this tour started. Okay, so just like all of the other All-Star resorts, your bus lines are out front here. As you can see, it is a very busy morning here at the All-Star Music. But each front is going to be basically about the same, just a little bit of color variation. But the All-Star Music, movies, and sports will typically all look just like you see here. Alright, so these resorts, the lobby is nothing impressive, just your typical lobby. Check in, check out, do whatever you need to do. Oh, and there's my favorite cartoon right there, Big Teddy Greens. And since this one is music, you've got all of the music decoration on the wall. And there's my man Elvis. So here we are at the main pool of the All-Star Music Resorts. I don't really know if this main pool has a name. We'll call it the Three Caballeros, because that is your centerpiece, and that is the theming of this whole pool area. As you can see, you got Donald, Pochito, and Jose. They were shooting water, but not any longer. The pool is not opened right yet. It does have specific hours. I will find the hours soon. But this pool is very large. That offers all kinds of things like beanbag toss, Connect Four style game, and many other things like billiards, which is somewhere over there. I'll show you as we go by. But it's also nice to mention that you can't see it, but a nice aerial view would reveal that this pool is in the shape of a guitar. You may be able to see the guitar strings right there. But trust me, it is a guitar. So as I mentioned earlier, when I was talking about the pool hours, there you go, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. And it'll be full from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., trust me. Always is. Another cool thing about the Disney properties is they'll normally do other activities, like the other day, right behind me here next to the pool, they were doing s'mores. Some of the resorts will do movies. They'll have a big projector screen out there and they will project movies. Like last night, I think the Boardwalk was playing Aladdin, and then a couple of nights before, Frozen 2. But there's always something extra that Disney will do to make your experience that much better. And if all of the extra activities Disney does isn't enough, life-size checkers and chess. This is pretty cool, you know. I like playing checkers. I like playing chess. I don't think Samantha knows how to play chess, so therefore I do not play it. And I noticed this medallion the other day, and I really have no idea what it means. It's a small world, the e-ticket. If anybody knows what this is for, please let me know. There's another view of this very interesting pool. But one thing I did fail to mention is next to the pool you do have restrooms, laundry, and some vending machines for snacks in case you're thirsty or just need to clean your clothes. As you leave the main lobby area, you will be flanked by the first set of hotel rooms that are called Calypso. Very bohemian, I'm assuming. I really don't know. There's a lot of bongos and parrots and things like that and maracas. So let's just go take a, hey, good morning. Let's just go take a look at these very interesting themed rooms. I will say one thing as I'm just kind of walking around the Calypso area of this hotel is that the cool thing about the all-star resorts, the music, movie, and sports, is that music is located in between both movies and sports, which gives you a unique advantage when it comes to Disney transportation, if that is what you choose to take. So like us, we are located on the back end of the music resort, so it is actually a little bit closer to us to walk over to All-Star Sports and take their transportation. However, if you are on the other end of All-Star Music, it may be a little bit faster for you to walk over to the All-Star Movies Resort and take the bus there. So you can see how it may come into an advantage on your way home from a park after a long day. You're packed on a bus, you're at the movies, or you're at the music, I will say, and you just don't want to wait for that second drop off. Well, you can exit the sports and slide on into your music resort room. We've done it a few times and it works. So once you leave the Calypso area of the resort, you will come to the next set of rooms, and that would be the jazz section of the room. Calypso really doesn't have much when it comes to outside theming. Not like the All-Star Movies, where it seems like every section has something to entertain you. But I know the jazz resorts are going to redeem the All-Star Music, so let's go ahead and walk over there and see what the jazz rooms look like. So in the middle of both jazz rooms, of course they're flanked on both sides like most of Disney's rooms are. You've got a huge drum set. I mean a huge drum set with an archway that says Jazz In. And who doesn't love the jazz? Also in between both sets of Jazz In resort rooms is this nice little section you walk through, nice bricked fountain area. This is a really pretty spot to sit. It is high traffic though, I will warn you that, but it is very peaceful. Once the crowds have gone to the parks or gotten back from the parks, to sit, listen to the fountain, drink your coffee, read your book if that's what you're into. I will say again that definitely when it comes to extra things outside of the resort rooms here at the music, the Calypso and the jazz lack a little bit. Where like at the movies, you've got the 101 Dalmatians where you've got the TV screen, or you've got Toy Story where you've got an RC car sitting out there. Not so much here. It does change though, and we're about to get into that. Okay, so now we are wandering on to our second and last pool area of this resort, which is not very far away from the first. I don't really know what this pool would be themed as. I know it's a keyboard. But you can see Ariel sitting out there with Flounder. But a little fun fact, this is the first pool Samantha and I ever swam in. And it may be the first pool that I ever swam in on any Disney resort property. That I'm not so sure about. I may have to fact check myself on that, but I know this is the first one that Samantha and I ever swam in. And also, make sure you check out these recreation activity boards. There's a list of things that Disney will do here at this resort. As you can see, I had mentioned earlier movies. There you go, movies under the stars. So that's your list of what they will be playing. Coco, Thursday, definitely don't want to miss that. But yes, if you plan on staying at the resorts, relaxing, definitely check out this. It's nice and fun. Here's another little view of the pool. As you can see, the piano keys there. So just like the other one, just like the other pool, it's shaped like a guitar. This one is shaped like a keyboard, so you can tickle the non-playable keys with your feet. Then you can take a dip in the pool there and relax. Now this one does not offer as much outside activities as the other one does. It does have a ping pong table in the back corner back there. You may not be able to see it. However, it does not have billiards. It does not have beanbag toss, the Connect 4 style game. I don't really know what that's called because it's definitely more than 4. Connect something. But it is less busy than the other one. So if you're looking for maybe a more relaxed dip in the pool, this one may be your choice. So the next section of resorts here at the All-Star Music is the Broadway section, which is directly behind me. Samantha and I have stayed here before. We really liked it. It is more towards the back end of the resort, which is no problem for us because we enjoy that. And I really like the way that it's themed. I've never been to New York, but it would be what I would assume a New York Broadway street would look like, with the marquees. I will take you over there. It's nice and wide open, which is probably some of the appeal to it. And it's got a lot of brickwork, which I absolutely love. In the center of the Broadway section of this resort is your box office and your marquee signs, which here we've got Newsies, which I have no idea what is. The Lion King and Aladdin is on the other side. You may not be able to see it. And then your Broadway illuminated sign. Now this section of the hotel is absolutely gorgeous at night because things are illuminated. Unfortunately, I will not be able to show you that today because as all good things come to an end, we have to leave today, and that's very sad. Now that we've left the Broadway rooms, we are headed over to, or I am headed over to the last section of rooms here at this resort. And actually, you know what, I may be wrong. But anyways, I'm headed over to the Country Fair, which is extremely at the end of the resort, which you can probably guess of how it's themed. Country. So you're going to see a lot of boots, banjos, violins, you know, a place where you can have a good old rootin' tootin' fun time. But I do like this section of the resort because, well, I mean, it's at the end, and a lot of times it's a little bit less noisy than the others, and it has a beautiful picnic area covered by trees and shrubbery, and you can just block out all of that outside noise. Okay, so this is a section that I just about forgot about. It is sandwiched in between the Country Fair and the Jazz section of the resort, and this is the rock and roll, or a rock in. I like to call it rock and roll section of the resort. So obviously, with it being themed out as rock and roll, you're going to have electric guitars, and there are plenty of massive electric guitars on both sides of this row behind me. There's also a pretty sweet old Chevrolet car, I believe it is. I'm not a car nut, so I couldn't tell you what kind of car it is. Even though it would be very fun to ride in one of those, I will show you, and then you can tell me exactly what car and what year. Because I'm pretty sure somebody out there knows, and they're embarrassed that I don't. But it is what it is. So come on, let me take you on a tour of this rock and roll resort. So this rock and roll resort is not quite themed to the rock and roll I grew up on. This looks more like the doo-wop era, as you can tell with the colors and the black and white tile work. So don't be confused if you think that this is Buddy Holly, the Weezer song. It's more like Buddy Holly, the artist. All right, everybody, so this is the old classic Chevrolet car that I was speaking of earlier. Probably the coolest thing in this resort, in my opinion. I have no idea what year model or even what type of Chevrolet it is, but it's fancy, I'll tell you that. All right, so as I wrapped up, a little walkthrough of the All-Star Music Resort and what each room is, I'm going to make my way back up to the bus pickup and bus drop-off area and time myself walking back to our resort, which is, like I said before, about as far back as you can get. And I did this when we stayed at the All-Star Movies. Let me walk through this noise here. So I did it when we stayed at the All-Star Movies. And a lot of people want to try to get as close to the front as possible. And Samantha and I are not those people. We like a little bit of peace and quiet. Because usually towards the front, you've got your lobby area, your cafeteria area, a bar, and normally a pool, which is packed at all times. So we like a little bit of peace and quiet. And some people may think, oh man, I just don't want to walk that far every time. Well, it's not that far. So that's why I'm walking up to the front. I'm going to time myself again. Now, I do not remember how long it took me last time to walk from the front back to our room at the All-Star Movies. I'll have to reference that from our other video. But this one seems to be, so far, like a little smaller walk. Or not smaller, a little shorter of a walk. So I don't think it's going to take quite as long. Now, don't hold me to that because I do not know. But that's why I'm doing this. So that we can figure out together, how long will it take to get from the bus drop off to our room in Wade steps. You can tell I am back to the front of the All-Star Music. This is about where I started last time at the movies. So I've got my phone. And as soon as this bus goes by, I will start this phone and take the most direct route I can back to our room and just see exactly how long it takes me to go from the bus drop-off area to way on back there to the country fair rooms. Oh, there we go. And we are off. So here we go. So if you do need to get an Uber, they will pick you up from here, right on the side of the lobby area. And as you can see, they roll out the red carpet for you everywhere they go. I don't really remember, like I said earlier, how long it took me to get to the front of the drop-off area with the All-Star Movies to get to our room there. I don't even remember what room we were staying in. But it just seems like from walking this one over the last few days that it's quite a bit shorter in distance. Now, I may be wrong. It may just be one of those Disney illusions. I don't know, but I will tell you, majorly out of shape for sure. So this may take a little bit longer, even if it is shorter. A little update. I have just passed, or I'm actually exiting the Calypso section of the room and the main pool, as you can see right behind me there. So just to get beyond the Calypso room, it's about 2.5 minutes. It's like 2 minutes and 24 seconds, which I don't think's that bad. Sometimes it takes me longer to walk to the restroom when I wake up in the morning. So here we go, entering the jazz rooms. You know, it's really sad that today is our last day here at Disney property, and we will be taking a very extremely long drive home, even though it's not as long as some other people may drive. still long enough. But we have been here for quite a while. We've definitely enjoyed ourselves. We've done some things we've never done before. The parks were really crowded and we didn't go to them every day, so that gave us opportunities to do other things like go to the boardwalk, hang out with some friends, try different foods that we've normally would not have tried. So yeah, I had a really fun time. Now we do have some things coming up soon. Well, I wouldn't say soon, but later in the year that is going to be very unique to us. Of course, I will not tell you what that is yet because it hasn't been finalized. But I will say when it is, it's going to be right in our warehouse. Probably would be the most excited, or to me, the most anticipated trip that we have ever had, in my opinion, to a Walt Disney World resort. So I'm super excited and can't wait to share that news with everybody. But like I said, that is further on down the year. So, but anyways, where am I at? I'm almost to Country Fair Jamboree. Actually, it's just called Country Fair. Sounds much like Country Bear, so I threw that little jamboree in there to make it sound fancy. But I'm 5 minutes and 12 seconds into it, and I am almost, now we are on the second floor, which I think is a little bit different from the last time. I think last time I was on the first floor. So that, yeah, that's gonna add some time to it, but not enough to actually sway someone from making their decision on whether or not they would like to stay further in the back, but are just too afraid to because of the time frame that it takes to walk from here to the bus transportation. Now, one of the reasons Samantha and I just do not care about being way back here and why we actually enjoy it is because we rarely ever take the Disney transportation. We tend to drive everywhere we want to go. So it's very close to the parking lot. We can just hop in the truck and get going. So we don't have to worry about this walk to the lobby. Now, we do go up there sometimes for breakfast in case like what we did today, or lunch or dinner. But you know what? It doesn't affect us that much. Sorry about the noise here. All right, so as I said, we are on the back end. Look, this is our view. And it is the back end of the resort, which I absolutely love. Okay, let me turn the camera around. We are at our room, 5538. And it took us, I have no idea how I got onto this. Geez. Oh, there we go. 7 minutes. Let's see if we can see that. Let me just set it down here. I've never seen this option on my phone before. 7 minutes, 2 seconds, and 17 hundredths of a second. So there you go. So just shy over 7 seconds, or 7 minutes to get from the front to the extreme back of this resort. So there you go. Not long at all. Okay, everyone, so that will finalize the All-Star Music Resort Tour. I know it's kind of quick. In my opinion, it's not as themed as the All-Star Movies. And the All-Star Sports is getting a nice little makeover right now. But from what I can remember, it's going to be themed about as well as this resort here, the music. So if you're looking for, I don't know, maybe a little bit more, movies may be your choice. But if it doesn't matter to you and you're just looking for a inexpensive hotel that is very nice, definitely give music a try. We've stayed here numerous of times and we've never left disappointed. So with that, guys, that's all I've got, and we'll see you in the next one.